I have these dots everywhere. This looks like complete trash. Failure! Hey everyone, welcome to Jason Explains Things. Today's video was originally going to be about how to do some of your own body work, paint correction, that sort of thing. It ends up being sort of about that, but also about how to deal with failure. Yay!
Are you okay? Run.
On this channel, I love doing how-to videos. Often, it's a subject that I've done multiple times over the years, and sometimes I am actively learning on camera. Now, I thought about hitting select all with all the video files I recorded and then delete and then moving on with my life, but instead, let's embrace the failure. Well, I'm gonna show you what I did wrong, how I'm going to pivot to fixing and putting everything back together again properly. And then we can talk about failure in general, right? Because no matter what you try to do, or even if you try to avoid doing things you haven't tried before, you will fail, it will happen. And why not embrace it and have it be part of a learning experience, part of like making yourself better at what you like to do and just better as a human being in general. And why not sometimes record it and put it on the internet for people to laugh at you? All right, well, let's jump back in time and you can see how all this happens. Woohoo. Failure number 1, needing paint correction in the first place. Here's a completely true, authentic, and definitely not AI illustrated story of why the front of my truck was scratched. But don't worry, my friends, this happened in a very cool, adventurous, and masculine way. See, it happened like this. Last Christmas Eve, during the worst blizzard in over 80 years, I was transporting toys and medicine across a closed mountain pass. Suddenly, I came across a school bus filled with orphans teetering on the edge of a cliff. My trusty Tacoma and I quickly recovered the bus full of orphans off the edge and began guiding them to safety. The children were filled with Christmas cheer and began to sing carols so loud and so true that I could hear them from behind me as I led them down the mountain. The children danced and sang more songs. I said, "Goodbye, sweet children. I must take my leave, for I am needed elsewhere." I drove away to the sounds of "O Holy Night" sung by the little ones. Just then, I hit a patch of ice and an evil mailbox materializes in front of me. Wait. A tree. A tree strikes my beloved truck. Not mailbox. Trail damage. Not mailbox damage. I had 3 surface types to repair. The headlight had deep grooves in the clear plastic. The unpainted plastic grille had some light scratches. The powder-coated metal bumper was scratched, and 2 painted plastic body panels were scratched as well. My plan to fix this? Replace the headlight with a new OEM replacement, not cheap. Use a combination of wet sanding and buffing to remove the scratches from the unpainted grille. For the metal bumper, the plan was to use special powder coat touch-up paint and blend it in seamlessly. For the 2 painted surfaces, I had different courses of action. For the smaller scratches on the grille surround, I thought it would work to use factory touch-up paint to fill in the scratches and then wet sand and buff the area to blend it in. For the small scratch panel, I plan to do a complete respray with a factory matching, I'm doing air quotes, touch-up paint kit. Spirits were high. I had taken the front end of my Tacoma apart a few times before. Toyotas are very easy to disassemble. So I took the truck to the car wash to get it clean, dried it off, and got to work. One extra step I need to do on my truck is to disconnect the aftermarket front camera that I installed. I have a video about doing that on my channel that I'll link below. Another helpful tip that I discovered after installing my off-road front bumper is that I was having a ton of rattling with the front grille. And what I did was I added a couple extra screws and wing nuts that I'll show close-ups of, and that's the last thing I need to disconnect to take the grille off. The only thing I hate about taking the front apart is disconnecting the fender flares without breaking things. It's held in by a small built-in clip and a series of snaps. A trim tool and a ton of patience is required. I broke this plastic piece when I installed my bumper years ago. It needs to be removed to remove the headlight. I decided to attempt a second repair, and this worked out very well. I found a metal washer that fit in the broken area perfectly, and then covered the back of the washer with JB Weld plastic weld. This doesn't look pretty, but this actually worked perfectly in the long run. Before removing the headlight, I disconnected the battery. Might not be required, but I always like to do this when disconnecting wiring harnesses.
Oh, that's not so bad.
Okay, everything is apart. Before I cover the stuff I completely failed at, let's cover what worked. Let's fix this powder-coated metal surface. I started by cleaning the area with a paint prep spray, wiping it down, blowing it off, and masking a few things for overspray. I used AEV's powder coat touch-up paint to apply 4 light coats, trying to feather the edges as much as possible. After letting it dry, the new paint was a tiny bit glossier than I wanted, so I used extra fine steel wool to dull it up a bit. The results were excellent. The other repair that looked great were the light scratches on the plastic grille. I used 2000 grit sandpaper and lightly wet sanded the area. To hide the remaining scratches, I used Turtle Wax ceramic acrylic black polish on the area, and it looked great. Not perfect, but pretty close. Because it worked so well, I ended up applying it to all the fender flares on the truck to hide trail scratches. By the way, all these products are listed and linked in the description. That's it for things I did well. I guess I need to move on to my glorious failures. I've watched tons of videos on filling in scratches with touch-up paint. I'd also touched up many nicks and scratches in the past, but hadn't attempted to fix such a large area before. In theory, you simply apply a small amount of touch-up paint to the scratch, allow it to dry, lightly sand, maybe reapply it again, and then buff the area. My attempt at this failed miserably. Perhaps I didn't mix up the touch-up paint enough, but it was noticeably darker. I also likely applied too much paint at once, so when I wet sanded, the new paint wasn't smooth, while the old paint around it started to go away quite quickly. I buffed the area, and all of the wet sanding scratches were still visible. If you have any tips so others don't make these mistakes, please leave them in the comments. For the small body panel, my plan to fix the paint was to first fill in the deep scratches with a glazing putty, allow it to dry, and then wet sand it smooth. Then apply a light coat of Automotive primer, wet sand that, then apply 4 coats of base coat, and then apply 2 coats of clear. The results were awful. Again, if you know why, please leave a comment. I'm just gonna sand all of this off and rattle can it black to make myself feel slightly better about myself. Well, it's a week later. You are now joining me at the low point of this little project, right? How am I gonna solve this? Well, I've decided to cheat. And by cheat, I mean source painted parts. I was able to find a new OEM painted grille surround for $270 on eBay, and the painted bumper caps were $360.
Cheating!
This ends up being cheaper than the minimum charge to professionally paint these pieces from body shops I've used in past repairs. I had completely failed at doing my own paint repair, but I still have the ability to do other parts of this job, saving myself a tiny bit of money? Sure, let's say yes. So let's take the front end completely apart again, install the new parts, and then we'll talk about failure and how awesome it is. All right. Well, since I cheated using brand new parts, the results are quite fantastic. Frankly, it looks better than it used to. This project reinforced to me that I am not naturally good at doing paint repair. So let's talk about failure, about dealing with it, about your mindset, all of that kind of thing. So if you've watched this channel for any amount of time, you will have seen me fail. You would think like, well, if that's the case, is it really worth doing things yourself? Is it really worth the risk of failure, of wasting your time just to try to do it yourself? I completely don't agree with that attitude, and it can't be further from the truth. And here's why. Because even if the worst case scenario happens, at very least you've learned something. At very least you know like, okay, well that part worked, that part didn't work. If you do have to hire a professional to help you with anything, you now know to talk to them about it a little bit better than if you went into it completely blind. My story with like pretty much every endeavor in my life is a story of failure and learning from it and getting slightly better and then failing again and then learning a little bit more and then failing again and learning more and then slowly over years and decades eventually getting competent at some things and realizing my weaknesses in others. That goes from being a video editor, producer to public speaking. Oh my gosh. One day I have to show you this clip. It was from a video I did about my Beetle years ago. I was trying to talk to the camera and I was trying to say one sentence and it took me 18 minutes to say one sentence. I knew how to make a video from behind the camera, but I never did it in front of the camera. So I stood there for 18 minutes and said the same thing over and over again until I got it. And now, 7.5 years later, I'm infinitely better at it. Still bad at it though, many times. But I'm able to talk to a camera now because I've just failed at it over and over and over again for hundreds or thousands of hours, but now I can do it. Or being a dad. Like, oh my gosh, like I won't talk about this much because I don't want to feel too many feelings on camera here. But man, like when my first daughter was born in 2011 and I'm a dad and I'd never changed a diaper before and babies crying freaks me out, I was terrible at it. So what do? Do you just like, I'm terrible at this. I'm failing at it daily. Several times a day I'm failing at it. What do? Do I just give up? Giving up is not an option. Failure is an invitation to do something better or to learn something every single time, like every single time. And now, 13, 14 years into being a dad, I'm slightly better at it. I have a long way to go, but I am slightly better at it, I dare say. And just everything is like that, my friends. I don't know, maybe this is because of my personal spiritual beliefs, being a Christian. Like, life is all about failure, realizing you're less than you need to be, and either, like when it comes to spiritual matters, praying and having a relationship with God and that as a way to better yourself. Or when it comes to everything else down here on earth, you learn, you try, you fail, you get slightly better, you fail again, you get slightly better, you fail again. That's it. I mean, that's the essence of life, in my opinion. And that's why as a guy in my 40s now, I don't really even get too bummed out when I screw up. I don't like it. I never like it, but I also go like, I screwed up. I remember when I did this, I walk into the house to look into order. It's probably to find the parts because I think that's going to be the better way. And I walk up to my wife Amy and go well, I botched that one. And she's like, yeah. And it's just that's just the attitude. Don't be okay with failure and don't be okay with bad results, but be okay with the fact that it happened and that you can move on. So that's my speech today to you all. Embrace failure, almost learn to love it, and just move on from it. Don't accept it, but embrace it, if that makes some sense. Probably not. But anyway, thank you all very much for watching. Hopefully you found this video either entertaining or inspirational or something, but thank you again for watching it. Stay tuned and subscribe for other videos where I don't fail, I just succeed. But anyway, God bless all of you. Don't forget to do it yourself. I know I see the irony in saying that, but I always say that at the end of videos. But yeah, don't forget to do it yourself.